Hello, everyone, and welcome to the June CSM webinar. Thanks, everyone, for joining. As usual, we're going to give it a few minutes here to let people trickle in. And so while we do that, also per usual, we're going to have Sue Ellen and I are going to talk about Friday the 13th. That's our fun focus for today. Um, so yeah, happy Friday the 13th. I found a couple memes for you all. And I've got some fun facts as well.
You got a comment on your screensaver there, Shannon.
Did I? I thought they were pretty fun.
It's pretty
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, they're great. So the origin of Friday the 13th is unclear, but some believe it could have biblical origins. As I was reading through like fun facts for Friday the 13th, I found out that there are scientific names for the fear of Friday the 13th, so I thought it would be really fun to try to pronounce them.
Oh
I'm
gosh,
hoping like
I
a
saw
swear word
those
doesn't come
too.
out accidentally.
You should copy them and put them in chat. I saw those as well, and I'm like, I'm not even going to attempt these.
Oh my gosh, they're so funny.
Yeah.
So one is frigatriskaidekaphobia.
Oh my, that did sound a little
Didn't it?
skeptical.
A
Yeah, it
little, a
did.
little sketchy.
Yeah.
But it's a scientific name, so I can't get in trouble for that. And then there's also paraskividekatriophobia, which is actually the fear of just the number 13, not necessarily the fear of Friday the 13th. Um, any fun facts on your side, Sue Ellen?
Yes. Do you know which famous person has 13 as their lucky number?
I do.
Okay.
Taylor Swift, for all you
Yes.
Swifties out there,
Yes. For all you
13 is her
Swifties.
lucky number, and Friday the 13th is actually a very lucky day. So that means you should book your travels today.
Yes.
All flights from now on, Friday the 13th. Actually, you'll probably get a better price potentially because in reading fun facts, I also found out that certain businesses, such as airlines, are hit pretty hard on Friday the 13th because a lot of people don't like to travel.
So
So,
I saw another fun fact that if the month starts on Sunday, you will have Friday the 13th.
mm-hmm.
Maybe you
Saw
saw
that one
that too.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a joke. It's not necessarily a Friday the 13th one, but it's, kind of on theme. So, did you hear about the exorcist who couldn't keep up his mortgage payments?
No.
Yeah, his house got repossessed.
That's a good one.
It is. I love it. It's perfect for this webinar.
Yes. Especially the last 2 days I've had. Do you know what are the maximum number of Friday the 13th you can have in a calendar year?
No, I don't.
Three.
Only three?
Only three. Yes.
Oh,
That's the max.
well, it makes them very special.
Yes.
All right, well, we've got a good crew joining us today, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. So as I mentioned, thank you so much, everyone, for joining our monthly CSM webinar. We're happy to have you here. Happy Friday. Um, as always, we need to start out with our safe harbor statement. In a nutshell, our future business plans and predictions may change due to market conditions and other factors beyond our control. Actual results could differ from our expectations. So I'm Shannon Walling. I am a CSM here at nCino Mortgage, and I am joined by my awesome colleague, Sue Ellen Keller, who is also a CSM. And I'm going to say this for the entire year. She is our CSM of the year for 2024. So
Stop.
you've got you so joining us today is a major person.
Stop.
But no, seriously, Sue Ellen is great.
Thank you,
Um,
Shannon.
So we're doing something new today. So I'm going to go through the agenda. We're going to start out with a vendor spotlight. So we have members of Argyle joining us today to talk about the verification of income and employment integration for about 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll introduce them in just a moment. But after that, we'll go through some important announcements. We'll talk about Encompass SDK to API updates. We'll go through roadmap coming soon items, new features and enhancements, and then we'll pause for question and answers. However, if you have questions anytime during this presentation, feel free to put your question in the chat and we will try to answer those live. After that Q&A section, we'll move on to incentive compensation and mortgage analytics updates. We'll stop for another Q&A before we let everyone on to finish off the rest of their 5 days. So I also want to mention, actually, before I forget, I will be sending a copy of this deck as well as the recording to everyone on this call. And just as a reminder, I actually send the deck and the recording to all registrants, regardless of your attendance. So if in July you're unable to make our webinar, rest assured you will receive a copy of the deck and have an opportunity to listen. All right, so moving on to our vendor spotlight. So we're super excited to have John Hardesty, joining us today. John Hardesty is Vice President of Mortgage at Argyle. John will introduce himself and then tell us everything that we need to know about the Argyle verification of income and employment integration. So without further ado, I'll give John the floor.
Thanks, Shannon. Thanks for again, thanks for our nCino friends for inviting us here today. Also, I see a lot of current Argyle customers and partners in the chat. Feel free to drop a name in there, but as always, it's good being with you guys as well. I'm going to share just a very short deck, kind of on how we work with nCino, some of the advantages that our clients are having today. And hopes that you guys are interested. And we've got some more special things to talk about towards the end of the presentation. So I will go ahead and share my screen. Everyone see that okay?
Yes, I can see it.
Perfect. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Argyle, we are really focused in on powering mortgage lenders to verify income, now assets, and even doing some interesting things with documents faster. So we are a consumer permission platform. Kind of where we started in the business, we've always been focused in on how can we provide an alternative to mortgage lenders to save costs. So you'll see a lot of cost savings in this really short demonstration. We are Fannie Freddie approved in terms of income and employment and assets across our entire platform. So if you're an agency seller out there, really focusing on finding ways to qualify folks faster, get rep and warrants along the way, we certainly focus on that every day here at Argyle. We also take a lot of pride in our team and makeup. I think if you asked a lot of the clients that are even on this call today, what's a focal point for Argyle? It's how do you drive adoption of consumer permission products? They've been out there for a long time. Our team, I see a few folks on here, Thomas and Daniel. We've all been in the mortgage space for a long time. We've either built tech in mortgage, originated a loan ourselves, or processed a loan. So we take customer service very serious to drive adoption of these digital tools. Like I said, maybe some clients on here too have already seen the cost savings that Argyle can provide you when you're leveraging this in nCino at scale. And then maybe this is the biggest point of what we're going to walk through today is certainly battle tested. We've integrated this now with over 40 nCino clients who've already processed over 25,000 verifications through this integration that we're going to walk through. So my point being is, we have a very deep relationship with nCino. We've got great clients who have helped us build this thing and try to think about every area of the loan manufacturing process. I hope you guys see that today. But I like to start quickly on what we look like. This is our directed payroll solution where the consumer or borrower is going to find the places where they get paid and share their data with you directly in nCino. So we have a very large network of over 90% of the U.S. workforce. Again, Fannie and Freddie approved on our VOIE side. And really, you're asking the consumer, if you're asking them today to get pay stubs and W-2s, they're going to these websites to grab them. What we are is that data transfer agent to make the process for the borrower faster, and certainly the process for the lender faster in terms of qualification once the loan gets going. The second piece and this is a newer function for us, is we've added asset data via our partnership with Finicity. So now we can offer both services directly in nCino. Why we did this, it's really important because we want to meet the industry where you are. Again, back to our focus as a company on adoption and getting you rep and warrant relief. We decided to go down this path, and it's been really successful with a lot of our clients onboarding today with our VOA product on top of our VOIE product. What this really looks like, again, I mentioned 90% coverage. We have very large network of direct deposit accounts via our VOA solution. Argyle's kind of differentiator for those who maybe have used products like this before. We're very focused on data quality, and that speaks to our focus on agency approval and validation rates. Everything we think about from a product and R&D side is certainly focused on data completeness, meaning we want to give you reports that you can use to move loans faster in your pipeline. And then last, and certainly not least, again, Fannie Mae approved on every aspect of what I'm going to show you today. And the two together really allow you to decrease your cycle times. So let's, really enough about the pitch. I want to show it to you. Again, from an nCino perspective, we have a lot of clients working with us in nCino. We connect into Encompass, Empower, Byte on the LOS side. Everything is data, docs coming downstream into your LOS. And again, Fannie and Freddie approved. So let's go ahead and take a look at this really in practice. There's 2 points that we integrate with the nCino mortgage platform today. The first is in that income and employment section, right? Typically, this is where you might be asking them today to enter income manually. We've been really thoughtful with the nCino team of how to bring this experience in to protect pull-through of the app as well as make a really good borrower experience. So now you'll see that link your employment records. That's going to pop up our service for the borrower to find and locate either their payroll system or employer system. Once they connect in, a very seamless process in nCino, we're starting to bring that data in, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Again, this process can take as little as 30 seconds, and it's very, very seamless. It makes it just feel like it's a part of the application for the borrower, and this is saving them time to having to do this post-application in the task list with nCino. Same basic feel on the asset side, except for we're asking them to connect their financial institutions. Again, they're going to go through this process. Instead of taking those manual bank statements, you're going to do it here. And again, we're going to begin to bring data down as soon as they authenticate in. Now, I want to put my 3 perspectives on here. So I'm thinking about the LO view, right? The LO view in the app. What am I getting? So application comes in, I get the notification that Daniel submitted his application. When I go into the documents tab, I'm already seeing the verification of income and employment report, the verification of asset report. Argyle brings over 30 days of pay stubs from the source, the last 2 W-2s. All of those documents, all of that data already in the LO view, ready to start looking at that information to push the file forward. So I like to think about the 3 phases, right? Here's the LO experience. Let's talk about how the documents flow down. And I'm going to give you an Encompass example here, but we support automatic import with Encompass and our other LOS systems, as well as manual import. As you can see here, all of these documents are coming down now, whether automatically or pushed. And we're going to take it a step further. Instead of having to, processor hat on, underwriter hat on here, type in this information, we're going to start pre-populating fields for you. Why do we do this? We want to save you time. We want to give it back to you to move on. So we're going to bring the info directly from the source into Encompass or your LOS, pre-populating fields such as the income information, length of work, employer name, same with the direct deposit information. One, this increases your validation rates with the agencies. A big thing there is employer name. We've solved that because the employer name that we're bringing back into Encompass is how it lives directly in the source as well as directly that Fannie and Freddie are going to pull it from us once you run DU or LP. So again, data directly coming down from nCino directly into Encompass. As well as the agency fields. We're again very focused in on this. Every time there's a connection, we're pre-populating DU and LP so that you can run AUS quickly and get that decision or get those conditions if needed. So again, this is out of the box with our partners at nCino with this integration. The last thing I'll talk about, and this is something kind of unique to Argyle, is how we've thought about the closing role with credentialed payroll and credentialed assets. And that's that, we want to bring, we know that a closer might not be working in the loan file and nCino. So we've worked really hard to bring our experience downstream into our LOS systems so that you can open up our plugins from a different surface and order re-verifications, pull additional pay stubs. The big one, right? Oh, I need a year-end pay stub for variable comp. Great, go into our LOS integrations, pull that document, push it to your e-folder, and move on. So it's this interoperability idea that, again, we worked, I would say, almost years with nCino on this idea that we've really brought to the market. And I'm sure a few of our clients on the call could speak to how powerful this really is in production across our network. So that's really like, I hope I might have gone too fast there. That's the overview of Argyle, like really what we're doing. If you can't tell, we're really focused in on the loan manufacturing process and using this data as an advantage to push loans faster, to give you time back, and to save money, especially in the market that we're in. We do have an offer running for nCino clients because that's how bullish we are on this integration that we've built. So if you're at all interested in anything that I said today, I really would encourage you to take that QR code, scan it, and just book a time with myself, Daniel, or Thomas. We are currently waiving implementation fees for nCino clients. We're offering very, very nice commercials in terms of our structured. We don't typically we're not trying to become the TWN of this room, so we're really focused in on betting on ourselves and showing you this into production in hopes that we can build a long-term partnership together. So please, if you're at all interested, take a scan, and we'd love to earn your business and kind of show you how we can really impact your business positively, especially in this market. So Shannon, thank you so much for allowing me to come in and kind of tell our story and our partnership with nCino. And I'm happy to answer any questions if there is.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a couple coming in through the chat. I know Daniel answered one of them. I think I would like to just, let's see.
There's
Are you
one.
an API or SDK integration to Encompass? Oh, you're on mute.
EPC through and through, Shannon. So we are all set there. No issues with the Argyle Encompass integration.
Okay. And then what are LOS integration? Oh, wow. I'm having a hard time reading this. Sorry.
Besides Encompass.
Yeah, we connect directly today with Empower from Dark Matter as well as Byte.
Awesome. Do you have a list of employers I can review?
Totally. Yeah, Derek, we do. Go ahead and, or we can follow up with you afterwards. We'll go ahead and scan that code and we can certainly go through that for you. No problem.
Awesome. I'm not seeing any other questions come through right now, but it sounds like by scanning this QR code, this is essentially going to allow folks to follow up with you, get potentially, more deep dive a little bit more on any questions they might have.
Totally. And not to put anybody on the spot, but I see who was the name I saw on here, the first person? I see Carrie's on here, the mortgage link. Hey Carrie. Thanks for the note. I appreciate it. Grant, there you are there too. Thank you.
We got a message too from Kenneth that Argyle rocks. So
Kenneth.
We've got
Perfect.
some happy clients.
Yes, that's our goal. Well, I will stop sharing. And again, thank you, nCino, for being great partners to Argyle. And if any questions, please reach out to us, guys, and have a great weekend.
John and team, thank you so much for joining us and telling us more about the integration. It was great to have you.
Bye, guys.
All right, take care, everyone. All right, let me work on sharing my deck again. Bear with me here. So Ellen, am I sharing the right screen?
You are.
Okay.
Yes. It's always fun wondering.
I know. All right. So I included this next screen here just to provide all of you more information about the Argyle VOIE integration within this deck. So I've included some resources, including a link to our verifications knowledge base article. I've also included a link to a quick recorded demo. And then I've also included our integrations catalog. So we also have verification of income and employment integrations with Finicity, Account Check, and then Truve as well. So if you have any questions about any of our VOI integrations, please feel free to reach out to mortgagehelp.nCino.com, and then you can request CSM assistance. I also did want to mention that coming soon. So right now, the Argyle integration is a borrower in-app experience. In talking to our product developers, they are drumming up some enhancements to the Argyle integration, which includes the ability to order verification of income and employment services through the services tab within nCino. So if for some reason the borrower does not choose to run the service within the application experience, then the loan officer or team member can run that service or request that service manually, and then have the borrower complete it after they've completed their application. Additionally, those manual requests currently are delivered to the borrower by email, and we are working to deliver those requests to the borrower via their task list. So it really consolidates their experience, instead of kind of making them jump around to both email and their task list. We are just directing our borrowers to the task list to complete that verification of and income run. And then John mentioned this, but improved mapping as well. And then we're also working on iOS and Android support as well. So more to come on that when all of that is released, but wanted to give you all an in on that.
Hey, Shannon,
Mhm.
we did have one question that can you post the list of VOIE vendors that's nCino is integrated with? I answered Finicity, Account Check, Argyle, and Truve. Those are our 4, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And then once I deliver this deck to you guys after the webinar, you'll be able to click into this integrations catalog. Not only will it show who we integrate with for VOIE and VOA, but it's going to show like all of the vendors that we integrate with. So a nice resource for you if you want to check that out. I think this is you, Sue Ellen.
It is. All right. So in this slide is a URL link to our webinars page. If you haven't saved this link as a favorite thus far, I would encourage you to do so. Our webinar calendar usually has about a 3-month schedule of upcoming webinars. Our office hour webinars are held on the first and third Fridays of each month, and they always start at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Next Friday, they will focus on the partner perspective, and these are held by our nCino mortgage trainers. They're awesome. And then they are also the ones that will be doing the remote nCino admin training on June 24th. If you've got newer admins to the nCino mortgage platform, or if you just want to do some brush up, this is a really great training to attend. Within the webinar calendar is the link where you can register for the remote training, as well as there will be a link that provides you additional information as far as what the trainers are going to cover, etc. The target audience for our webinars is typically like company admins or company trainers. For the partner perspective, if you do have any sales managers as well, I would encourage them to attend because they really do go over some great information. And when we're in a purchase market, it's always great to brush up on those partner skills.
Awesome. I'll also mention that most of our office hours trainings repeat on a quarterly basis. So if you miss one, then you'll have a chance to attend another one later on in the year. But as you all know, our platform is changing all the time. So I think it's good to attend office hours trainings that perhaps you've attended before so that you can see some of those changes.
Absolutely. And then Jessica asked if I could put the link in chat. And
Mhm.
so I did add the webinar URL into chat so everybody can grab it from there as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, next slide. All right, mobile apps. I am very passionate about mobile apps. And so I just wanted to talk today a little bit about mobile app management. And included in this slide where it says linked here is a mobile app management guide that we created. And this is something that's really, really good to print out and give to your mobile app developer account admins. One of the first things that I always ask my customers when I'm assigned to a new customer is, do you know who manages your developer accounts for your mobile apps internally? And about 50% of the time, people tell me no. And so if you don't know who manages your mobile app developer accounts, that's okay. Ask your IT department, ask around, find out who it is, and then make certain that you always have a backup. It was always it's also good practice to reach out to mortgagehelp.nCino.com and request to have your mobile apps updated. I encourage everyone to have them updated at least quarterly. Within the Apple developer account, there are updated user agreements, and your admin needs to log into the Apple developer account and accept those updated user agreements. That allows our mobile apps team to move forward and update your mobile app versions. Additionally, there's items in the Google developer account that also need to be managed, but everything is located in that mobile app management guide. There's URL links in there to log into the Apple developer account as well as the Google developer account. And then we've just tried to think of all of the FAQs that customers reach out and ask us that we've included in there. So please share this document with your developer account admins. And again, if you have any questions, just reach out to mortgagehelp.nCino.com and request CSM assistance because we always are here to help. Anything that you want to add to about mobile app management, Shannon?
No, I don't think so. Well, maybe just one thing, just to elaborate what you mentioned before, is that we do not update your mobile app versions automatically. So as Sue Ellen mentioned, you would need to submit a request via a ticket to get your mobile app version updated. We recommend quarterly. But if you don't make that request, then your app version will be behind. And what will often happen if that does occur is if there is some sort of buggy behavior, you submit a ticket to our support team. And if they see that your mobile app version is more than a year behind, they'll ask you to get it updated to within a year of the most current version, at which point they can troubleshoot whatever issue is occurring, or they can suggest what version would actually contains the fix for whatever issue you're seeing.
Awesome. Thanks, Shannon.
Okay, so moving on to Encompass API updates. I realize this is a big wall of information. So my goal here is to make sure that once you do have a copy of this deck, you can refer back to it for information that you need. A lot of the information that is within this big wall of text is information that we had discussed within the last webinar, or like within the last CSM monthly webinar, I should say. or was discussed within the Encompass API webinar, which happened something like 2 weeks ago. So a lot of this is going to be repeated just to make sure that everyone is on the same page. So as a reminder, coming soon will be the automatic import of loan applications. So what will happen is when a borrower submits their loan application, it will bypass the mobile mailbox and automatically import into Encompass. There's no need to disable the mobile mailbox or worry about disabling anything with this change. The API and the plugin can run really well together. And in fact, if a loan fails to import, then it will fall back into the mobile mailbox for now. Eventually, the SDK will be going away along with the mobile mailbox on October 1st, which is the Encompass deadline that we have to convert or migrate over to the API. So when that occurs, if a loan fails to import, then it will just kind of hang out within the loan applications tab in nCino. And then we do have notifications, which can be configured to alert, say, like an admin or like a distro email, actually, is what we would recommend if the application fails to import, and it will surface the reason that it failed to import, such as like common reasons would be the application contained a special character that Encompass doesn't like, or maybe the borrower applied in a state that the loan officer isn't licensed in. So yeah, if you want to configure that notification now, you can reach out to mortgagehelp.nCino.com. You can simply just submit a support ticket and let them know that you want to configure the loan app import failure email to whatever list of emails would be appropriate. I'm going to read through to see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Bear with me here. For those currently using our dual AUS feature, there's an auto import delay timer, which can be configured in the LOS settings service tile, which I'll be showing you in just a moment here. This self-service tile, is accessible and configurable by company admins. So you would get there via the company settings, then going to LOS integrations tile, and then there's a subtile for LOS settings. So you can self-configure that delay timer for anywhere between 1 to 72 hours. The purpose for that is to give loan officers the opportunity to make updates to the loan application via the loan officer facing 1003, run AUS, and then import the loan into Encompass. I also want to mention that for auto import, you can configure a import folder, but it's not required. So on the self-service, I'm going to scroll to the next page actually. So on the self-service settings, which I've shown you how to navigate here on this page, there is this LOS import loan folder. So when you click edit, it's going to open this pop-up where you can select the folder to which you want your loans to automatically import. As I mentioned, it's not required. If you did, well, it's not required, but if you did leave it blank, then it would default to the working folder for the API user. So just something to consider. The screenshot is actually cutting it off here, but there is also just below this setting. I'm sorry, we didn't have enough room for the screenshot, but you can also configure the template that would be applied to the loan application when it imports to Encompass. That's not required either. It would just import without a template. And then when the user opens up the file in Encompass, then they could apply the template after that. So we do realize that is a workflow change. So it's something to be aware of. Let me see if there's anything else I want to. Oh, okay. So as I mentioned, this will be enabled for our entire client base on July 15th. You do have the opportunity to enable it ahead of that July 15th enablement date by going to your loan import settings tile and enabling it here. This would be enabling it company-wide. Sue Ellen, do you have anything to add?
Sorry, didn't realize I was muted. For me, the easiest way to find that loan import settings tile is to go to company settings, and then in the search bar under company settings, just type in Encompass. When you get
Good idea.
when you find Encompass, then you click on that and it'll open up and you'll see that loan import settings subtile.
Perfect. Do we have any questions in the chat? Okay, I'm not seeing any.
Nope.
All right. Next up for Encompass API functionality is the automatic import of borrower documents and loan application workflow documents. So that's going to be enabled for our entire client base really soon on June 20th. Actually, there was a change to that. Did it change to June 25th?
I think it did change to June 25th. I think that was an update we got this morning. Was that from Morgan and Ashley?
Yeah. You know what? Can you write that down to take that away and I'll confirm
Yes.
that in my email out to everyone? I'm
Yep.
sorry. I didn't mean to make things more confusing. So we will be enabling auto import of borrower documents really soon. So what this includes is like, borrower document uploads such as pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, any documents which the borrower would upload to their task list. This would also include any documents which the borrower uploaded to that kind of like generic document upload place that they can go when they're just uploading random documents that aren't related to a task. And then it also applies to loan application workflow docs, such as like the e-consent, the credit auth, things like that. To be clear, this does not include the automatic import of disclosure and closing documents. So that's going to be separate. We'll talk about that in just a moment here.
Shannon, there was a question from Teresa regarding auto import of loans that I missed.
Okay.
Can any team member manually import a loan from nCino that didn't automatically import for some reason?
Can any team member?
They would have to go into the LO 1003 from there, and they would have to click on submit to LOS.
Like if it failed to import automatically?
If it failed to import automatically.
Yeah, so I think that depends because it all depends on who has access to that loan officer facing 1003 feature. So by default, it's the loan officer who has access, or like a company admin who could do that on behalf of the loan officer. But I believe if like another loan officer has been granted access to that loan officer's pipeline, then they would be able to do that on behalf of the loan officer as well. Sue Ellen, are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So I'm going to jump back to borrower document imports. I can't recall if I mentioned this, so I'll say it again. There is a self-service tile for admins, which I'll show you on the following page. So company admins can enable this functionality ahead of the June 20th client-wide enablement date. Settings are company-wide only, just as they are with auto loan import as well. And we also have a notification setting which can be configured to alert certain emails of a loan doc import failure as well. So you can indicate what admin email addresses you might want to be alerted, or if there's a distro list, you could add that too. So you can submit a ticket to mortgagehelp.ncino.com to our support team and they can get that configured for you. Also, Sue Ellen gave me this screenshot here, which shows us what it looks like when a new document has been auto imported into Encompass. It's highlighted in orange. Was there anything you wanted to add on that, Sue Ellen?
It's highlighted in orange, but then also over on the very far right side, you'll see under status and date that it'll show received, and then the date that it auto imported is also going to be reflected.
Awesome. Thank you.
We do have quite a few in the Q&A questions. And so I think we can, if you want to continue on, and then we can follow back up on those later, or or we can address those in your email, Shannon. How do you want to proceed with those?
Let's answer those questions now, see if we can.
Okay, so from Chris Wood, is there a roadmap for the template via individual or dynamic templates?
I know that it has been discussed. So it's what I'm hearing, but I don't have anything solid on this, is that our product team is exploring other methods for applying a template that could be more drilled down to like an individual loan officer. So what I'm hearing is they might be able to configure, a loan officer might be able to configure their individual account with a template that they want applied to their loan auto imports, or they might be able to go into the 1003 functionality, select a template, and then import. None of this is like solid or anything. This is just what I'm hearing. And I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that it sounds like options are being explored. And so once we do have more information on that, then we'll absolutely share that with you.
The next question is, we already have auto import set up, but if a loan fails to auto import, it goes into the mobile mailbox. Will this change on July 15th?
It will not change. So for as long as the SDK is available, that same behavior will continue. It will change once we no longer have the SDK available, and our cutoff date from Encompass is on October 1st. So at that point, we won't have the mobile mailbox for it to fall back on. We'll need to rely on those loan app import failure notifications to know if a loan got stuck.
Okay, and then hang on here. Borrower document uploads, are these auto categorized in Encompass?
As in like buckets.
I believe so.
So I can show you some tidbits. I am actually going to navigate. I'm going to stop my share really quick and navigate to nCino here. Bear with me. And then I'll share my screen again. Okay. So as an admin, I can go to my company settings. And in the disclosures and documents section of your settings is this document imports tile. So this is the self-service tile I was telling you about, where you can enable borrower doc import. And then right below here, if you click on this, the default workflow document settings subsection, then you can say you want all workflow documents to go into unassigned or to a specific placeholder within Encompass. I want to clarify, this is for workflow documents, so like e-consent, credit auth, things like that. Right now, the plugin settings get a more granular than this page. So in the plugin, you can say, I want e-consent to go to this bucket. I want credit auth to go to this bucket. And our product team is working on building that out within nCino. I don't know exactly when that will be available, so we'll be sure to keep you informed. I know a lot of us CSMs are asking about it. So it will be built out. It's just not built out just yet. Now, if you want to configure like certain documents such as W-2s, pay stubs, things like that, whatever you're creating tasks for, then you can specify how those flow into Encompass using your task template configurations. So that's within your company settings page in the task templates tile.
Do you want to open that up, Shannon, on the 3-dot menu?
Yep,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay, maybe you were getting there.
Yep. So if I open this up, then you'll notice that there is an LOS import ID right here. And so you can type in the folder to which you want the 2 months of bank statements to flow. Otherwise, if you leave this blank, then these will flow according to the settings from the document auto import self-service tile. So either unassigned or whatever placeholder that you indicate there. Any other questions, Sue Ellen?
We do have some, but we may need to get Tyler Prowse
Okay.
to answer these. And what I'm doing is copying and pasting all of the questions because it's, will the API import still be restricted based on LO licensing and Encompass? And
Yeah, I
that's,
don't know what that means.
and then the last webinar, we said that documents like e-consent, credit auth, borrower auth, I think those are the ones you just mentioned, were not included in the update. And then also if they could opt out. Let me see. Would we be able to configure a delay for the doc upload similar to the loan import? We could have Tyler answer that one. I think what we
Mhm.
could do is I will continue to monitor these questions, and
Okay.
then we can include like a Q&A when you send out the link to the recording as well as the deck.
Okay.
Does that
Thank
sound
you.
good?
That sounds great because a lot of these questions are excellent and they're
They
over.
are.
So I'm sorry that we can't answer all of these on the fly. But Sue Ellen will work on gathering these questions and then we'll work on getting these out to everyone when we send the recording in the deck. So that means I probably won't send it today after the call. I'm probably going to send it early next week and I hope that's okay with everyone. Okay, let me work on getting back to my slides. I have a knowledge base article linked here as well for when you do have a copy of the deck. Next up is the automatic import of disclosure and closing documents. So that will be enabled for our entire client base on July 15th. So very similar to borrower doc imports, disclosure and closing documents will automatically import into Encompass. And what I didn't mention before actually is that like today, when a document is imported into Encompass, when a user opens up the file in Encompass, they'll be hit with that pop-up that says, do you want to import this doc? Yes or no. So that will go away with this functionality. It's a nice time saver. And so documents will import in the background. And so if the docs have been imported, then they'll already be there. For those who have the batch processor, you can still keep the batch processor. This functionality and the batch processor run really well as well. From what I understand is that when you have the batch processor and the API running at the same time, then essentially what happens is these docs get in line for import. They're waiting for someone to pick it up, and either the API will pick it up and import it, or the batch processor will pick it up and import it while both are running at the same time. So this will be disclosure and closing doc imports will be enabled on July 15th for our client base. And then the self-service settings tile will be surfaced to our client base via the company settings page, where there will be a disclosure document import self-service settings tile where you can configure how those different disclosure and closing packages flow into the LOS. And then there will also be a button where you can enable it ahead of the July 15th enablement date. Did I miss anything, Sue Ellen?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. So on this last slide for Encompass API, I have some resources. So what I did is oh, I'm sorry. This is just a webinar. I'm sorry, a link to our regular webinar. And then also a link to our CSM newsletter. So Sue Ellen actually puts together the CSM newsletter. She includes a lot of information about features, enhancements, important things to know. And so if you're not receiving that, please make sure to sign up here. And then we also have recordings of when we had previously talked about the Encompass API. So we have a recording of the May CSM webinar here, and then that last Encompass API webinar, which I think was something like 2 weeks ago with members of our product team, can be watched right here. So feel free to check out those resources. But again, we'll work on getting answers to your questions as well.
And with the CSM newsletter, with any of our API updates, any of the dates, etc., I'm going to include those at the very top part of the newsletter, just because of the importance of them.
Yes.
My fear is that people stop scrolling.
Right. Yeah. So we realize this is really important for you guys. We're going to continue to talk about this as much as you can, try to keep you informed as much as possible. So stay tuned for updates. And Lindsay, glad to hear you love the newsletter.
Yes, thank you, Lindsay.
All right.
Okay, role-based access control. We have been talking about this for quite some time, and as I like to refer to it, which made Shannon laugh earlier this morning, admin light and admin fat-free. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen just so I can kind of give you guys an update on what role-based access control truly is, other than just calling it admin light and admin fat-free. And so I'm logged in to the users page and just want to point out that this is our legacy users page. So in order to access the new RBAC or role-based access control, you will need to go over here to the right-hand side and click on Join Beta. Once you do that, you will be taken into our updated user interface. And here you will see tabs for employees, borrowers, partners, and roles. Employees now includes both your loan officers, which includes admins, as well as any team members. You do have the ability to filter by account type right here. But with role-based access control, we've now got a new tab, or you will see one very soon, that says roles. And so when you want to give a user specific user rights, and this is going to apply to admin users only, you're going to first want to set up your role. And so I was playing around in here earlier this morning. And so let's say that you've got a chief operating officer or a chief financial officer. They want to have access into the nCino mortgage point of sale, and all they really want to do is jump in and run reports. So the nice thing about the RBAC page is it gives you the name or the type of role, what you can add a description when you created it, and then if you have any users assigned to this role, you're going to notice that right here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Chief Operating Officer. And it shows again, they can manage reports, etc. So how did I get to that right there? I'm going to create another role. So we're going to call this one the trainer, corporate trainer. And what is the purpose? I'll just put train all of the employees. Next, I'm going to be able to select the permissions. When you jump into the permissions page, we've got a total of 14 different permissions right now. So with a company trainer, I want them to be able to manage all organization settings. Maybe I want them to manage regions. You can take a look at all of the different permissions and then the description of those permissions. And based on the role that you're creating, you can assign those permissions to the role. So I just want the trainer to be able to manage loan officers, team members, and partners. Those are the permissions I'm going to give. Next, I'm going to review the details. It's going to show everything that I just set up, and I'm going to create that role. Now that I've got the role created, I'm going to create my user, and I'm going to give them that user right, or that role that I just created. So I'll jump in here. Again, it has to be an admin. I'm going to assign that role to them. So I'm going to say that they are a corporate trainer. And then next I can add, and this is going to be business just as usual as it always previously was. I can go ahead and I can create that corporate trainer. So I got a couple stakes here. At trainer, and then add my phone numbers if necessary, add my state and zip code, and then set up my system Once I have all of that completed, I create the user. And now if I go back into my roles, I'll see that with corporate trainer, that this not update. Is it going to make me a liar? It doesn't show that I have one assigned user to it, so we'll have to let Tyler know that there might be a bug with this, Shannon. So
Okay.
again, I'm just going to reiterate that with the company roles and role-based access control, you first want to create your role. Once you get the role created, then you can go in and you can either set up a new employee and you can give them access to those user rights, or if you do have any company admins and you want to edit their user rights, you can go to user details. You can go right here, and again, you can add the user type, I'm sorry. You can add that role right here where you can edit user admins currently. Anything that you want to add to RBAC. This is really, really new. We were just introduced to all of this yesterday, so I hope I haven't forgotten anything. Shannon, if there's anything that you want to add, please do so.
You know, I was answering a lot of questions. I'm sure you did
Oh, you
great.
were.
Yeah. The only thing I want to mention is that we have a little bit of confusion as to why people can't see the roles functionality right now. And that's because we're currently talking about coming soon roadmap items. So this will be released on the target is June 17th.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, and let me see on my notes if there was anything that I missed. I don't think so. All right, so I think I've covered everything. I'm going to stop sharing.
Sounds great. I'll steal it back.
Okay.
Sorry, folks. It kind of takes me a little bit, but we'll get there.
I'm just going to quickly answer Chris's question. Any plan for custom roles for team members? I do believe that they have on their roadmap that they want to build out custom roles or RBAC for all types of users, but they're starting with admins. So just look for more to follow on that, Chris.
Yep, we'll keep you updated.
Okay.
So I just want to mention that I added to the deck just like a screenshot of some of the permissions, but just didn't have enough room for all of them. So once this is released on June 17th, then you'll be able to see all the available permissions when creating a role.
And again, just remember that currently it is just for admins.
Correct.
The other thing that we have recently added, or I'm sorry, it is coming June 17th, is the user audit log. And this again, you have to be logged into the updated user interface, the one that I just showed you where I clicked on beta, in order to have access to the user audit log. There's an audit log available for admins, LOs, team members, and borrowers. To access the audit log, you would just simply go over to the right-hand side on the three-dot menu, click there, and then click on User Details. And once you get there, you'll notice that there will be a new tab for Audit Log. What this is currently tracking is the last login time, password resets, user account creation date and time, information such as that. They are going to be increasing the amount of information that's going to be surfacing on that as time goes on. So more information will be added to the audit log as well.
And if you have anything that you feel would be helpful, events that you want us to surface when troubleshooting, feel free to pass that along to us. Our product team is really interested in making this audit log useful for you guys.
Absolutely. What's the best spot in nCino help to find update release? That would be in, I think the best way to find information such as this, like any of our coming soon or recently released items, number one, the webinar that we hold, the one that Shannon and I are doing right now, but then also in our newsletter, we try to, between those two items, provide you with everything that we can as far as any updates.
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge base does not have a coming soon section. The knowledge base always includes anything that has been recently released, and there's always a new, like a recent or recently released section in the knowledge base. But the
Mhm.
newsletter, as well as our webinar, is going to provide you with the most recent information as well as the coming soon.
Yeah, the knowledge base doesn't have articles for everything that is released. So um, Sue Ellen and I kind of fill the gaps and talk about those same the releases that are mentioned in the knowledge base as well. So I feel like this is kind of where we try to cover as much as possible.
Okay, next. So there is also going to be updates coming to the Omni Search page very soon. And if you haven't used the Omni Search tool, it's really a great tool. In the upper right-hand corner, you see that little search oval. You simply put an email address in there and hit enter, and then it'll pull up any users that are created that is using that email address. So how you get to the OmniSearch page is going to be exactly the same as you do now, but what's going to be updated is, if you see the screenshot that Shannon included on the slide, it's got an updated user interface, a little bit larger font, more columns for information, just easier to read. And we're hoping a much better user experience for you when you do utilize the OmniSearch. All the information that you saw previously is going to be there, just an easier workflow for you.
And from what I understand, these UI updates are setting the stage for some improvements coming in the future as well.
And they've really been trying to, if you want to just hop back quickly, keep consistency as far as all of our different types of user pages, like the loans page, the like the borrowers page, the teams page, etc. Just kind of keeping that consistent user interface.
Right. All right. So moving on to POS features and enhancements, which have recently been released. So the borrower inquiry task is now available for all loan officers and team members to use on web, and mobile support will be coming soon. So we've talked about this in the past, but as a reminder, this feature allows users to free-form a question to the borrower as a task, and the borrower can complete the task by free-forming their answer back. Once the borrower completes the task, a document is generated upon task completion and includes everything that was included in the request. So like the name of the task, the question that was free-formed by the loan officer or team member, the answer which was free-formed back by the borrower. And then there's also this optional include agreement box as well, where the loan officer or team member can choose to say something like, I certify the above is true. So for example, let's say that you were talking on the phone with a borrower about their address history, and you need something in writing that kind of like confirms that by the borrower. Then you could type all that stuff in here, address, 123 street name, dates, start and end dates, and then, living rent free, for example. You could put all of that here, and then in that case, the borrower may not necessarily have any answer to provide, but they could certify that whatever was written in this question box as a statement is true, and then the document would generate that statement as well. There are notifications which are enabled along with this functionality. So the loan officer has automatically by default, they're going to receive a inquiry task completed email as well as an inquiry task completed push notification. Those message templates are configurable. And then you also have the opportunity to turn some of them on or off at a company level, or you could give permission for loan officers to enable them or disable them within their own individual settings if you wanted to. And then borrowers will also get an email notification when the inquiry task is created, alerting them that they need to complete the task. So as I mentioned, this functionality is available via web only, with mobile support coming soon. So we'll of course keep you updated for this.
Question from Patty is, and that you might be getting to it here. Only if it's a template is the notification configurable by us. And in the message template, the notification is they can edit it.
So only if it's a template is the notification configurable by us. Let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna go to the company admin place. Bear with me here. I'm gonna try to reshare my screen. I apologize, folks. This always takes me a long time because Zoom is fun like that. Okay, so I'm gonna share. Oh, give me a second. I can do this. I know it.
Yes, you can. I have faith in you.
I did it.
Yay.
All right. So what I'm talking about here is that the notifications which get sent to borrowers and loan officers can be configured by going to company settings and then your message templates subtile. So just as with other email, text, or push notifications that are being sent out to different users that are configurable, so are the inquiry task requests as well. So if you are an organization that really likes to modify these, then certainly you can. I'm going to try to find it here.
I use Control F and hit inquiry. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so we have the inquiry task created email, and it looks like actually there's a push notification as well for borrowers. So this is where you could configure the templated language that goes out when this notification is sent to the borrower. This is just where you adjust the wording but not turn for the phone company. I'm not sure what that means.
Whole company.
Oh,
Yes, I believe the notifications were auto-enabled once they were
correct.
created for both
Yes.
LOs and borrowers.
That is right. And so I believe loan officers should be able to turn it off for themselves within their own notification settings. I'm just checking for it here. Sorry, I'm moving really fast, but I went to just a loan officer and then I went to settings and then account. And then this is the inquiry task completed notification where right now this loan officer is configured to receive those. They can turn those off within their individual settings. The company level or region or branch level settings where you can turn this on or off for people in mass is not accessible right now to admins, but that might be coming soon, guys.
And it's coming very
It
soon.
is. We're so
And
excited.
Patty added, okay, yay.
Okay, awesome. I see. Yeah, sorry about that. So anyway, wanted to make sure to show you that. All right, I'm going to try to go back to my, oh, good. Okay.
Look at that.
I know it's easier going back. Okay. The other thing I want to add is that borrower inquiry task templates can be templated. So, as a company admin, let's say that you know that there are certain inquiry tasks that users put together quite a bit, and you want to make it easier for them to put these tasks together. You want to save them clicks, you want to save them typing. Then what you could do is add it as a template. And then I'm going to go back up to the screen. So if you do create a template, then when the loan officer or team member creates the new task, drops down to request inquiry, and then starts creating it, then you'll see that there's this templates drop down where any templates that you've created, they'll be able to see the name of that template. And then that template will pre-fill into the title and the question. And then you can also pre-fill the include agreement as well. And then they can add on whatever they need to add on if they need to. So a nice time saver for really common requests from your organization. So that is available now as well. Something to mention is that we don't have default or dynamic triggers for those borrower inquiry task templates, but it sounds like those are being worked on. Some more to come on that.
I just wanted to add one more thing on the inquiry task. The document that imports into your LOS is date stamped and timed at the bottom of it, just like the credit auth document or the e-consent document that comes in. It shows the date, the timestamp, the device that the user used when completing that task, which to me is kind of like the teeth to the document that your underwriter could be looking for. So
Mhm.
very, very official document that imports into the LOS for this task.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. All right. So next up is an enhancement that has been made to an existing setting. This setting allows company admins to configure who can retract packages. I want to mention by default, well, so as with this change, no changes to that setting have been made for your organization. We're just expanding the options for who has the ability to retract a package. So this is a screenshot of our internal settings tool. This setting does need to be configured by an nCino employee. And basically what it does is it allows us to, oh no, this is a self-service setting. I'm just going to show you.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Give me
Ooh.
a second here. Um,
Oh, somebody just said we can do this now. I love it. Yay.
yes. It is, we just love it when you guys have the tools in your hands. Okay.
Yes.
So as a company admin, you can go to your company settings page, go down to the disclosures and documents area. And then this setting actually lives in the eClose document settings. Now, this eClose document settings page has a lot of settings. Nope, I went to the wrong thing.
And is it in package tracker? No, it's not.
No, it's eClose settings.
Okay,
Sorry, guys.
there we
This
go.
page has a lot of different settings which admins can access, configure. I love the visibility of knowing what settings are available and seeing their descriptions, having full visibility as to what's on and off. But this particular setting is right here. So allow lender to team to retract packages. This is small, I apologize. I'll make it bigger. So you can open this setting and the default configuration would be that all admins can retract all packages. But you have the ability to create different rules. So you can say, I want region admins or processors to be able to retract initial packages or whatever. And then you can even configure it so that those users can't retract a completed package. So anyway, long story short, loan officers have not previously been included as an option or like a rule within the setting. And so that's the change actually. So now loan officers have the ability to be configured to retract certain packages. And I think that's all I have for that. Next up, this is another tool or setting which we have now given our company admins access to. So in the past, if you needed to update your inactive loan folder configuration, you needed to reach out to an nCino mortgage employee, and then they would be able to make changes to your inactive loan folder configuration. So now company admins can manage this inactive loan folder configuration themselves. So you would go to company settings and then to the loan folder subtile, and then you can add inactive folders and save your changes, or you can delete on your own without needing our assistance. Anything you want to add on that? Pretty.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
There is that small Pendo pop-up guide, but it's pretty self-explanatory once you get in there.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Next update here is that the Share app flow on mobile has been redesigned as part of the May mobile app version update. So This redesign includes a modernized look and feel to match the rest of our platform. It also features a unified app share flow so that all users, such as loan officers, team members, partners, all have the same app share flow experience. Previously, different users kind of had like a different share flow experience, and so there wasn't that consistency. In addition to creating a more unified share flow, we have also added the ability to just share the link, which previously was only available on web. Or you can access the QR code on mobile as well. So some nice updates. Additionally, the UI has been updated. I think I mentioned that actually. And then there's like a cleaner way of sharing another loan officer's app, assuming that the person sharing has access to other loan officers via the loan access tool. So you can either search for loan officers in the search bar, excuse me, or you can select from the pick list and then share by, text, email, or the link. Just as a reminder, we do not automatically update your mobile app versions. So if you want to get updated, please submit a ticket and we'll be happy to do so. Okay. So a new setting has been created, which allows users to delete uploaded closing package documents. I have a support article linked here. This support article has instructions for how a user can delete uploaded closing packages if you enable this functionality. So just to be clear right now, if a settlement agent uploads like the wrong file to a loan and you need it deleted, then you would need to reach out to our support team who could then delete the incorrectly uploaded document on your behalf. So this setting will allow you to say, okay, I want these certain users, say a company admin or a closer, to have the ability to delete documents from closing packages without the help of our nCino support team. What else do I want to say? I think that's basically it. So I have a screenshot of how you can delete it from the closing package. Do you have anything to add to this one, Sue Ellen?
No, but this is a great enhancement because previously, if a settlement agent did upload like the incorrect documents to like a closing within the closing portal, the only way that you could delete them was to allow them to import into the LOS. And so this is truly a great enhancement.
Mm-hmm. Robin is asking a question. Can this feature be used in conjunction with RBAC? We only want specific closers to delete bad docs. I don't know.
That's a great takeaway that I will add to my list.
Thank you. Robin, we'll get back to you. Yeah. Okay. So for this next one, sorry, I'm reading through. I think I added this later. Okay. So an enhancement was released where we have improved the mapping when certain loan purposes were selected by a borrower when they were completing the application. So for example, if the borrower said they wanted to apply for a HELOC, then it would, when it flowed through into the application, into the LOS or on the like the loan application copy, it would show as other. And that would be frustrating to loan officers because then they would kind of have to dig and do more work to figure out what that borrower was actually applying for. So that was automatically enhanced for all of our users who are on the out of the box loan application. If we have any users who are using a customized loan application, then please submit a ticket via mortgagehelp.ncino.com. And then we can also work to make sure your loan app reflects this change. I think I added this one late too. Sorry. The Poly pricing integration is now supported on mobile for both pricing and locking. Previously, the integration was only available on web. So using the Poly integration, loan officers can run pricing searches, they can save results as pricing scenarios, and they can submit lock requests and view lock results. An existing Poly relationship is required to set up the integration. So please reach out to mortgagehelp.ncino.com if you'd like more information and to get the integration project scoped. Another update is that we now support Truth as a verification provider. I think we briefly mentioned that before. Truth is a verification provider for both VOA and VOIE. So using this integration, borrowers can seamlessly connect their financial accounts and employment records through Truth's embedded experience during the loan application process, meaning that borrowers, when they're completing the application, they have the ability to connect their accounts via Truth and then run the VOA or VOIE reports. The integration features improved mapping to the LOS, including VOE and VOD data mapping and GSE reference IDs. This integration provides lenders with another GSE certified option for automated verifications, supporting day one certainty and AIM workflows while potentially improving borrower conversion rates. An existing Truth relationship is needed to set up the integration. Please submit a ticket via mortgagehelp.ncino.com for more information and to get the project scoped. I do have some links to some recorded demos here. So once I do deliver a copy of this deck to you, you'll be able to see those recordings. They're pretty quick, just a couple minutes long if you want to take a look. Sorry, I didn't hide some of these things very well. That ends our mortgage, our POS updates. Want to pause for questions before we move to incentive compensation updates?
I don't see any additional questions, Shannon.
Okay.
You guys were awesome, by the way, with all your questions during our presentation thus far. So thank you. All right, this one is me. So we do have the ability now to upload employee incentive plans. And just like the other slides, Shannon has included a link to the knowledge base article to provide additional assistance on this if this is something that you do want to move forward with, because this update is a little bit long to go through. Admins will have the ability to upload a CSV file if you need to do bulk assignments. This is either to a comp plan or if you want to do bulk updates to employee incentive plans. And so this is only if you need to update assignments. You can't make changes to the plan themselves using this tool. There's 4 different types of actions which you can take using this screen, which include inactive employee assignments. You can assign employees that have tiers managed at the plan level, or you can also add disbursements to existing assignments. Each one of these actions that you do is going to have its own separate template. So when you're using this tool, you're going to want to ensure that you're selecting which action you want to perform when you click on the drop down at the top of the screen. You'll then download the template for that particular action using the link at the bottom of the screenshot. This is why it's really important that Shannon included that link to the knowledge base article. You're going to want to make certain that you submit the correct template that matches the action that you want to perform. Otherwise, what will happen, of course, is you will get an error message and it won't work for you. So for example, if you were to download a template for inactivating employee assignments, but you tried to upload the add disbursements, then of course you would get an error message. This update has been released and it is in your production. So all admins can now utilize this tool. And again, there's that article linked that provides you with step-by-step actions to if you do want to utilize this new update. Okay, the next one we have now added. Oh, this is an awesome one. So if you are logged into Incentive Comp, we have now added links to access our other nCino products, such as the point of sale or mortgage analytics. You'll notice in the upper right-hand corner, there's that 9-dot menu that kind of looks like a domino. If you click on that, you'll see a drop down for accessing either mortgage analytics or the mortgage point of sale. If you utilize single sign-on or SOS, you'll automatically be logged into those other products. If not, you'll be taken to the login page, and it's just an easy way to get access to those other products. This is awesome. I hope they do that in the point of sale as well.
I think it is in the POS.
Is it in the POS? I know with
Bottom
mortgage.
left, 9 dots, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, sweet. Okay. You
Mhm.
know, I'm out for 3 days, and I tell you, I miss a lot.
You know, I can't even remember what happened last week, so.
I know. Okay. And then this one, we now have a new channel for consumer loans. So if you do want to create like an incentive plan for both consumer and commercial loans, you'll see the new channel. It's labeled consumer, and this is not to be confused with consumer direct, because that would refer to specific types of mortgage loans. The consumer channel would refer to like personal loans that are outside of like mortgages. So if you do want to create comp plans for consumer loans, that is now available. And this next one has been in early adoption for a bit. This is where you can now create comp plans that are goal-based. And so with that, excuse me, measures can be activated and inactivated on the same screen. When you export a report, all the measures will be exported, and there will be a column that shows a true false indicator, so you can filter active versus inactive on this report. And just as a reminder, goal-based plans are based on certain types of goals, where we also have production plans that are based on production metrics. If you are interested in testing the goal-based plan metric, please reach out to incentives@ncino.com, and we can let you know if there's still opportunity for the early adoption program, or also to provide additional information. Is there anything I missed on that one, Shannon?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
All right, so next up for incentive compensation, the compensation snapshot link has been added to the employee details page. Currently in the comp snapshot, there's a little person icon which takes you to the employee details page. And we were getting feedback that admins wanted to quickly go from the employee details page to the comp snapshot. So this new button allows admins to do so quickly and with less clicks. An option has been added for incentive plans to save to specific branches. So currently in the system, we can select the home branch of the employee or the branch of the loan, but there isn't a way to send it to a specific branch that is neither one of those. So with this release, when you select the specified branch, there will be another pop-up below it that will allow the user to select the branch number. Next up, we've added a remove employees button to the inactivate incentive plan assignments tool. So it's right here in the screenshot. This lets admins select and remove a plan assignment from multiple employees at the same time if they've made a mistake when assigning plans and they want to remove them. The admin can select to remove employees by clicking the box next to the employees' names that they want removed, and the inactivation date would set to the same date as the activation date. This will make it so that when the overnight job runs, the assignments will be removed completely on the following day. And so it sounds like this is consistent behavior with other functionality within the incentive compensation system as well. So what this does is this allows admins to mass delete assignments instead of having to do so one by one. The department code has been added to multiple report exports, which include payroll transactions, completed loans, and employee draws unpaid. The department code wasn't added to the UI, so you'll not see it on the screen when you go to one of these reports. But if you export any of the reports referenced in this slide, then the department code will be present in that report. I think that's it. Oh, we have one more actually.
Yep,
One more
we have one
mortgage
more for
analytics
mortgage.
update, and
Yes.
then we'll stop for questions if there are any.
And this one is just, it's a really quick, fast, easy update to explain. But we've added a new position to the upcoming closings insight, and that you'll now see a new position for loan originator assistance, or LOAs. This provides visibility into estimated closings that the LOA is tied to, and it also allows you to see the load balance for those LOAs as well on the loans that are estimated to close. So to access this, you'll just navigate to Pipeline, Insights, Upcoming Closings, and then as highlighted in that red box, you'll see that new setting for Loan Originator Assistant. And that's it.
That concludes our webinar today, folks. Do we have any questions at all?
I don't see any updated questions. So I do have all of those other questions from both the Q&A section as well as in chat. I've got all of those copied and pasted to a Word doc. So we'll be able to reach out to the product manager and get some answers on those for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for collecting those, Sue Ellen. And everyone,
Bet.
thank you so much for joining us. Happy Friday. I hope everyone has a really wonderful weekend, and we'll see you in July.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.